So welcome to everyone for tuning into Helen Lay's cooking live stream on YouTube and Facebook with Helen Lay and Quarto Publishing. I'm Sam. Myself and Izzy will be the MCs for today's broadcast on behalf of Quarto Publishing. Thank you so much for joining us for this exciting live cooking event in celebration of the official publication date of Helen's book, Vegan Vietnamese, which is published under Rock Point, an imprint of Quarto Publishing. Welcome, Helen.
Hello everyone at Quarto, and a warm welcome to all my viewers on YouTube and Facebook watching me on the live stream right now. It's my really great pleasure to be here today, and thank you so much for spending time with me on this special day, the publication day of my latest cookbook, Vegan Vietnamese.
Thank you so much, Helen. So Helen is the founder and host of the most reliable Vietnamese cooking channel on YouTube, known as Helen's Recipes, as well as the author of Simply Pho. Helen has helped thousands of home cooks prepare Vietnamese food in the easiest, fastest, and most authentic way. Helen grew up in Da Nang, Vietnam, and later studied in Singapore and Germany for university. During this time, she realized her love for Vietnamese cuisine, and in 2011 started her own YouTube channel, posting video clips on how to cook the dishes of her hometown. Now, Helen has shared over 1,000 videos on Vietnamese foods on her channel. Helen's Recipes, one of YouTube's most popular channels featuring Vietnamese cuisine, garnering more than 100 million views and nearly 600,000 subscribers worldwide. Her Facebook page also has 1 million followers. Please check out Helen's YouTube channel for her latest recipes, which we will also share. So as Helen's channel continued to grow, Helen discovered a newfound appreciation of her culture and heritage. And her book, Vegan Vietnamese, will be offering 70 plant-based classic dishes from every region of Vietnam, suitable for everyone, satisfying and traditional. As today's official publication day, you can purchase a copy online. Thank you so much, Helen, and to everyone for joining us today. For Quarto employees, please check out the 5-color salad recipe attached in the email if you wish to cook along. Helen will also be sharing the recipe to her followers. I will now pass you over to Izzy to follow up with the Q&A and for Helen's delicious cooking class. Thank you.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you so much, Sam. And so I'll be reading out some questions for Helen, but if anybody who's watching has any questions while we go, if there's anything relating to the recipe or you think, oh, that happened so quickly, how do I do that? Please just post them in the chat and I'll read them out. It's definitely we're open to anyone's questions. So welcome, Helen. Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us and show us how to cook today. Really appreciate it. To start off, would you mind just telling us a little bit about your amazing YouTube channel and maybe when you first started the channel and why you chose to do so?
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for having me today. I started my channel, Helen Recipes, on YouTube in May 2011, which was 12 years ago. And at that time, I was in Germany pursuing an MBA degree. And the idea was to recreate the dishes that I really miss from home and trying to share the recipes with my friends and a wider audience on YouTube. And that's how I started the first video on YouTube for the channel.
I love that it starts from something so personal and you've built it up into a community of 100 million views. It's it's incredible. And I suppose the cookbooks are a way of continuing to kind of share that passion and form those connections, which takes us to amazing vegan Vietnamese. So I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about when you first had the idea for the book and maybe you could share a little bit about the process of making it.
Yeah, so the idea for the book actually came about thanks to my audience on YouTube. So over the years, I received numerous requests for vegan recipes and vegan versions of famous Vietnamese dishes, and that's how it sparked the idea for the book. But making a book, especially a book that published internationally, is really takes a lot of time. I've been working on it for the past 4 or 5 years, starting with a local. I started with a local publisher. The book in Vietnamese called Món chay bếp nhà. It means Vietnamese vegan vegetarian home cooking. And then the book was launched in Vietnam and was really well received. And so I had the idea to convert the book to English and submitted the draft to Quarto Publishing, who is also the publisher of my previous book, Simply Pho. And luckily, the book the draft got approved, and that's how my book, Vegan Vietnamese, is born. Yeah.
I'm so lucky to have the book on our list. It's yeah, it's gorgeous, and I know a lot of the recipes I'm going to be referring to again and again, including the recipe you're making today. Actually, I'm a big tofu fan. It looks gorgeous. So you're going to be making the 5-color salad for us today. Would you mind telling us a little bit about that dish, please?
Yeah, so the 5-color salad is one of the recipes in the book, and that's what I decided to make for you today on the release day of the book in the live stream. Um, it's a really beautiful dish and very simple to make, and it could be an appetizer for big events like a wedding banquet because of its vibrant and celebratory appearance. But it could also be a simple light lunch or dinner that you can easily put together at home anytime. The ingredients are really flexible. You can choose the kind of vegetables that you prefer, as long as they have multiple colors and textures. And then the dressing is also very, very simple to make. So yeah, that's why I decided to make this dish as a demo for you to introduce you to the new book.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And yeah, happy publication day.
Thank you.
So I know you've got kind of an array of ingredients there. Would you mind taking us through the different ingredients that you use in this recipe, and we can all raid our fridges at home and see if we can cook along?
Yeah, sure, definitely. So I have the dish is called 5-color salad. So I will pick different vegetables in different colors. So I have here purple cabbage for the purple, the cucumber for green, and then carrot, orange. I have some fresh chilies, bird-eye chilies for the red color. I also have here mint, fresh mint leaf, and shredded banana blossom, if you can see from here. So the banana blossom is a very local, Southeast Asian ingredient. You might not be able to find it in the UK. I'm not sure. Maybe in the Asian markets they will have it. They will sell it in a trunk. And here in Vietnam, they already shred it like this and sell at the market, so it's very convenient. But if you buy it overseas, maybe you have to buy the whole trunk of banana blossom, and then you use the peeler to cut into really thin slices and immediately soak in, lime water, like water with a little bit of a squeeze of lime to get the acidity, prevent the banana blossom from darkening. Yeah, and
That's
then
such a good tip.
so that is for the vegetables. And yeah, I also have some leek to make it some aromatic element to the salad. For the protein, I will use a block of tofu. Yeah, and then for the dressing, we will need fermented bean curd and soy sauce, and
Excellent.
sriracha, some sesame oil, and for garnish, we will need the roasted peanuts and sesame.
Fantastic. Thank you
I
so
think,
much.
yeah, somebody just asked, is the banana blossom sweet, right? Yeah, banana
Exactly.
blossom is actually it doesn't have any taste to it actually. So we love it just for the texture. It's kind of crunchy when it's fresh, and it's carry flavor really well. So it will absorb the dressing when you drizzle it over. So it's not sweet. It's actually almost tasteless. It's a little bit tart, but then not much flavor to it. Yeah.
And is this
Actually,
something that you'd recommend substituting if you can't access banana blossom?
Yeah, so if you can't get the banana blossom, maybe just use cabbage. Normal shredded cabbage will be fine. Just shredded really
Awesome.
fine, like the Japanese would do it. Yeah, so it's very close to banana blossom in the texture-wise. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. And do you mind if I just ask, the tofu that you've got there, is that firm tofu?
Yes, this is firm tofu. This is the standard size that we can get here in Vietnam. It's just pretty small, like only 150 gram compared to the one that I used to have in Germany, or I've seen in Europe or in America. It's normally like triple or at least double the size, right? But this is the size that we have. But we don't need much, just about 100 gram for the topping of the salad will be fine. And I'm using firm tofu. We will fry this now. So firm or extra firm would be better for tofu to use in this recipe. Because if you use silken or soft tofu, it will break when we fry, and it normally contains a lot more water, and it will splash a lot when you fry, right?
Great, thank you so much.
Okay, so I will start right away with the frying of the tofu. So tofu is made from soybeans, and when they press it, they will remove much of the water. But when we fry, we try to use a piece of paper towel to absorb as much of the water out of the tofu as possible. So when we fry, it will not, the water content will not splash in the oil, right? And then I will cut it in half, like, in about into sticks, about 1 centimeter thick, like this. So it will be faster when we fry. All right, so let's do some cooking action now. Okay, so I have a stove here, you guys can see.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I have a mini pan. Right. So you don't need much oil for the frying. Just about a tablespoon of oil would do. And then when the oil is nice and hot, we can start starting the tofu steaks. So it will take about 5 to 10 minutes to fry the tofu until golden brown on both sides. So feel free to ask questions while I fry.
Excellent. I will take this opportunity. Maybe you could tell us a bit about the task of distilling Vietnamese cuisine, quite an enormous task to choose 70 recipes to represent it. Could you tell us about the process of choosing? How did you have a certain criteria for how you chose certain recipes to be included in the book?
Yeah, it was quite a challenging process actually. So the way I approached it was I started converting the more famous and popular Vietnamese dishes like phở or bún bò Huế or bánh xèo, the crispy spring roll, and the spring roll as well. So I tried to use vegan ingredients to replicate those dishes, making sure that the original flavors and concept of the dish is still the same. So some dish was simple, but many dish was it took many trials, and so I tested a lot to come out with the final version that I use in the book. The final dish should have the same spirit as the original one, like the bowl of vegan pho must smell like have the aromatic elements of the original pho, and the taste is also very close. But it was
Yeah, amazing.
yeah, a labor of love, so I really enjoyed the process.
I can imagine it's sort of on one side, it's quite creative and experimental. You're trying all of these different approaches, but you also have to be so thorough and meticulous to try and get that kind of authentic feel.
Yeah.
Um, could you tell us a little bit about the reasoning behind making the book plant-based? Is it something that do you tend to eat a lot of vegan food at home yourself? And is it a key aspect of Vietnamese cuisine?
Yeah, so growing up, I am as a child in a Vietnamese family. My mom and my dad normally eat vegan, like vegetarian food, like twice a month
Mm.
on the first and the 15th day, which is the full moon day of the according to the lunar calendar. And so I also enjoy eating vegetarian versions of the dishes that I love at home. And yeah, because my mission is to promote Vietnamese cuisine to the world,
Mm.
and having this book plant-based will help me also reach the non-meat eaters. Yeah, and so that's why I decided to make the book vegan, and also because there's so many of you who have requested me to make one.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And could I ask, so this is a question that I'd love to ask people. I think it's quite telling what your answer is. If you could only eat one meal for the rest of your life, maybe a meal from this book, and you don't have to limit it to one dish. You could have a main course, you could have dessert, maybe there's a side that you're interested in. What would you eat for the rest of your life?
Oh, that's a tough question. I love all Vietnamese food, and if to decide one dish, that will be like really difficult. Um, yeah, but there's one dish that I grew up with, which is mì Quảng. It's a specialty from Quảng Nam province, where I'm from central Vietnam. And the dish is like half noodle soup and half noodle salad. It contains a lot of fresh vegetables and very well balanced. So yeah, that's the dish I really enjoy, and I can eat it for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner every day. And if I have to choose one to eat for the rest of my life, maybe that will be it. And then I also, for dessert, I would wish for some crispy spring rolls, crispy banana spring rolls, because banana is really easy to buy here, and who doesn't love something crispy, right? Yeah, like the tofu here is already turning golden on
Yeah.
one side, so I'm gonna flip it over so if you guys can see.
That looks great. Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect
okay.
timing, so crispy.
Yeah, and then for drink, I would love to have coconut water. Yeah,
Something
so
nice and
refreshing.
refreshing.
Yeah. Do you guys hear
The
the sizzling of the tofu?
Oh great. Yeah, you can hear just a sizzle. It's really nice. It's very feels like we're kind of cooking along with you. Um Fantastic. That meal sounds so good. I've never had a sweet spring
Yeah,
roll
and all
either.
of
And
the vegan version of the mee Quảng and the crispy banana squirrel is of course included in the book. So if you
definitely
wish
checking that out.
to know what I wish for, then you can check out the book in the book.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about food culture in Vietnam. What comes to mind when I say kind of so Vietnamese food culture? What comes to your mind when you think of it?
Yeah, actually, in Vietnam, food is at the heart of our culture. We Vietnamese really love food, and
Mm.
we love sharing food with our friends and and families and even business partners. So we tend to, it's very common for us to hang out in an eatery or, you know, a restaurant. And interestingly enough, that many business deals are also sealed over food and drinks.
I'm so envious of that. I think that's something that we should all take note of and try and carry it out in our business too.
Yeah, so when the tofu is nicely golden brown, we just remove it from the oil and just let it rest for a while, so it's cool down enough that we can fry that. Yeah.
Great.
Okay. So that is the first part of the cooking for this recipe, and let's move on to the frying of the leek. I still need to fry the leek. Yeah. So, you know, for salad, for Western salad, you will, for the dressing, normally you will use what? Olive oil, right? So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
oil will carry the flavors of the dressing to all the vegetables. And we don't use much of olive oil here in Vietnamese cuisine. But what I would use is the leek oil. So, what's the oil? Yeah, so I have here some peanut oil, and we will fry the leek, which I have to slide up here thinly. So when it's golden brown, it will release the aroma to the oil, and then when we mix it with the salad, it will smell really good, right?
That's such a good tip.
Yeah. So I use this tip a lot in other salad recipe, like noodle salad recipe, like the grilled zaitan and the one in the cover, the leaf. I also normally add some fried leek oil to lift up the the flavors and the fragrance of the dish. And I think it's really good. It makes a big difference. Even for, you know, the canh chua, which is the sweet and sour soup, right? It's just a little bit of the adding of the shallot or the leek oil at the end on top of the soup will make it a lot different.
We'll all be doing that from now on. I'm starting to get very hungry as well. It shows you're doing a great job.
So the oil is hot now. Just adding the chopped leek to fry that.
And the oil that you cook in, Helen, you said peanut oil there. Is that the oil that you'd usually use, or do you change using lots of different oils depending on the dish?
Actually, in central Vietnam, the mì Quảng dish that I mentioned earlier, one of the different, one of the ingredients that make it different is to use raw, like coldly pressed peanut oil, which there's no brand. I know somebody produce it in my city. So my mom normally give me like 5 liters of the peanut oil, and I will use it like gradually.
An angel.
Yeah, so it's cold press and really thick, and you know you can see the color like very.
Yeah, it's a great color.
Yeah, great color. And this kind of oil, you know, I couldn't buy in Germany. So the mì Quảng make in Germany was never the same as the one at home. Even though I tried to, exactly what my mom taught me. And also there's a pearl onion. The onion that's really tiny. We call it củ nén. Also very local, hyper local ingredient in central Vietnam. Yeah, but other than that, for like deep frying, when I need a lot more oil, then maybe I just use normal canola oil.
Yeah, yeah.
But for
Awesome.
salad, yeah, it's worth it to use the good oil, you know, flavorless, but good quality oil.
Thank you so much.
All right.
And
So when so you can see that the leek is started to turn golden brown and smell really good in my studio right now.
they look amazing.
Yeah, so we can turn it off. Don't wait for everything to turn golden brown, because because the oil is still very hot. So when you turn it off, it's still, the heat is still on. It will cook further. So when just a few pieces are golden brown, it's okay to turn off now. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So I will leave it to cool. All right.
Great. Are there any other kind of key flavors and textures that come up a lot in Vietnamese cuisine that we should know about? Maybe there's some core ingredients that we should all kind of stock in our pantries ready to use the cookbook.
Yeah, for Vietnamese cooking, we always need fish sauce, right? Fish sauce.
Oh,
And
is there a vegan alternative that you discovered when you were?
yeah, of course, you can't cook Vietnamese food without fish sauce. And for vegan version of Vietnamese dishes, I think it's almost in the first few pages of the book. I already give you a version of vegan fish sauce.
Amazing. You've anticipated our questions.
Vegan fish sauce. Yeah, I tested so many recipes for the sauce. Yeah, I mean because it's so it's a stable ingredient in our cuisine, and it must taste really close to fish sauce, but it's not fishy. So we tested. I together with my team tested a lot, many recipes that we can think of, can find, and then come up with the final one that we put in the book that I think tastes really good and close. Is a great replacement for original fish sauce. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And rice is also, Vietnamese food is our culture is rice civilization, rice culture. So you need to handle rice and rice flour and all sort of rice products, because almost all of our cakes and desserts we recall for rice flour, something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
so really good for people who are celiac or gluten free as well.
Exactly. So if you're on a gluten-free diet and vegan, then Vietnamese food is a really great choice. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Even in vegetarian cooking, right? I mean, vegetarian Vietnamese, we don't use a lot of dairy products and honey or anything. So when we call vegetarian, it's almost vegan. Yeah, just for some ingredient that I need to make substitute.
Yeah, amazing. And how about the kind of the combinations of flavors that you think represent Vietnamese cuisine? Are there certain herbs that you always use in your dishes?
Yeah, so we would love to have a combination of different flavors, like salty, sweet, and sour and spicy. Like what I'm making, I'm gonna have all that flavor in my dressing later. But for now, I
Excellent.
will cut up the vegetables, right? So I will for the carrot, you can use the mandolin, or if you can shred it by hand, it's fine. If you have one handy shredder here, you can just simply shred it into julienne strip like this. Or you can cut it on the cutting board. Yeah.
So satisfying to watch.
Yeah. I love this one. When I use this one is like very handy. It's light, and in comparison to the mandolin, which take a lot of space, but this one is used by all of the food vendor, like the salad lady at the market. She also use the same one.
So it's kind of quick and effective. It's
Yeah.
definitely much more impressive than my box grater, where I'm sort of labouring away at a carrot.
When I use it, and then a lot of my subscribers also ask, and so some of the giveaway I just I gave away this
Such
one,
a good
and I love
idea.
it so much. Yeah, so that was for the carrot. You don't have the grater, you can just simply cut, cut into slices. and
Okay.
then stack it and cut again. Yeah, like that, and then stack it up and cut into julienne strips.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah, so yeah, so easy like that. Yeah, and same for cabbage. So we basically cut the vegetable almost into the julienne size, right? So when I cut, then the camera will be moving around. Sorry,
Shows the power that you're cutting with.
Yeah. So I also for the purple cabbage also cut into like strip in thin slices, and it will separate itself into shredded like that. And for cucumber, I will cut into maybe the same length as the cabbage, and then also cut into strip. Yeah. So very very easy, simple. You know, you can change to you can add celery or whatever salad ingredients that you like with colors to change up the ingredients, right? Okay, so this is the shredded cucumber.
Beautiful.
Okay, and now I also cut up the tofu. So the tofu has been cooled down. It's about 1 centimeter thick, and I will also cut it into thin slices.
And is there a reason for cooking it in the steak and then cutting afterwards?
So it will be crispy on the outside and then soft on
the texture.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks so good.
And also it tastes better with after fry, right? Tofu normally tastes quite bland, and when you fry it, it will have some smoky, I don't know, some interesting taste of it too.
Great.
Yeah, and so that was for the salad items. Now I will move on with the dressing. And as I mentioned earlier, in Vietnam we strive for a balance of flavors, right? So I have here fermented bean curd, which you can buy in a small jar at the Asian market. They have Chinese version of fermented bean curd. Mostly you will find fermented bean curd, Chinese one. But the Vietnamese one normally tastes bolder, yeah.
Okay.
And I also have, if you are interested to make fermented bean curd yourself, I also have the recipe in the book that helps you to do so. This is made from the tofu. Just leave it in the
wow.
Yeah, so it's ferment after time, and you can see that the texture when I crush it is like really creamy, like cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see.
That is great.
Yeah. So I mash it like that, and as I mentioned, Vietnamese food. In Vietnamese cuisine, we use a lot of fermented seafood or fermented fish sauce, right? And this is a secret ingredient for to bring out the bold flavors of the dishes. You know, for bún bò Huế, it's normally it requires for fermented shrimp paste, which is really pungent and strong flavor. And this is what I use to call out that flavor profile in those dishes. Yeah, this one fermented bean curd and also fermented soybeans. It's called term in Vietnamese. Yeah, I explain it very in detail in the book. Yeah, so these two are very strong flavors, but vegan, and make the dish taste really bold and flavorful. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds well worth doing.
Yeah, so I have here 1 tablespoon of the fermented bean curd, and then a tablespoon of soy sauce. Just use light soy sauce, and then sugar. So that is for the savory part, right? So we add sugar to balance out the saltiness, about 2 tablespoons, because the Vietnamese fermented bean curd is quite salty. Yeah, and then I also have something spicy, some hot sauce of your choice. I'm using here some sriracha, or you can use, I don't know, Tabasco. And then a wedge of lime to add some freshness and also tangy flavors. So the dressing should have a balance of, sweet, savory, sour, and spicy. And if you wish, you can also add a few drops of a teaspoon of sesame oil for the yeah. But I also add the fry leaf for more fragrance, yeah, and maybe some black pepper too.
That all sounds so good.
Yeah, so I'm switching to the mini whisk to make it homogeneous. Yeah.
You have some excellent kit. I'm really envious of that tiny whisk as well.
Sorry?
I'm envious of your tiny whisk. That's such a key tool for dressing.
So when you finish, right, it's normally the ingredients is not tasting the same everywhere, right? So I have the recipe that you can base on, but normally after mixing, you can have a taste to see if it's had the perfect balance that you're wishing for. Yeah. Yeah. So I think mine is a little bit more sour, like some more lime juice. Yeah. That should be perfect for the dressing. Okay. So now I will move on to assemble the salad. Very simple, right? So you need a nice round plate, and just arrange the ingredients, side by side, color by color, so it look more appealing. So carrot, and then cucumber. Alternating the vegetables and the colors. And then strawberry cabbage. And where's the herbs? And shredded banana blossom. Yeah, and then the mint leaf, like that. So if you still have space, we go back again with carrot. Yeah, so it looks really beautiful and colorful. And
it all looks very fresh as well, doesn't it?
yes. And then the cucumber again.
Gorgeous.
Banana blossom. Yeah, so that's for the vegetables. And the side tofu that we prepared earlier, we will place it on top. Okay. Yeah, so just put the protein on top. Right? Like you normally put with chicken or other, if not vegan. Yeah, and then we will, of course, not forgetting our fry leek. Yeah. You can also add the fry leek directly into the dressing as well. So you have all ingredients combined. It smells really good. Yeah. I love the smell of fried leek. So you mix it up in the salad dressing and you drizzle it over. Okay. Oops. Yeah, so most of the ingredients here, like the banana blossom and the tofu, are mostly tasteless, but they have really good texture and they carry on the flavors really well. So we have a plate of really colorful ingredients. And for garnish, I will top it up with some, roasted peanuts for extra crunch and roasted sesame.
Beautiful. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I think I speak for everyone that we're all going to have to take our lunches as soon as this call ends. It looks incredible.
Yeah, so the fresh herb is like almost a must in Vietnamese cuisine, especially for salad. There must be some kind of fresh herbs in the dish. And in contrary to Western cuisine, where herbs is used mostly like as a condiment to create aroma, in Vietnamese cuisine, herbs is like part of the meal. It's as important as protein or carb. So normally in any food, we will have a balance of carbs, carbohydrates, and then protein and fat and fresh herbs.
Yeah, that's such an interesting difference. It's sort of treated like a salad leaf, like the kind of one of the base ingredients. Wow. Oh, beautiful.
I want to try my 5-color salad.
Oh, thank you so much, Helen. That is yeah, a gorgeous dish. I'm definitely going to be trying that as soon as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, great. So if anybody had any questions while Helen was leading us through the different steps of the recipe, or if you have anything that
the likes that you guys releasing on the live stream and in the chat. Thank you so much for your support. And feel free to ask more questions. We still have how many minutes left? We still have
we've
time.
got. Exactly, yeah, absolutely. So if there are any questions, please either feel free to join the call to ask questions, or you can put them in the chat or in comments on Helen's channel, I'm sure.
I have a question. I could ask. The food looks amazing. I think we can definitely say that. I wish we all had smell-o-vision. We could smell the food through our screens. I wanted to ask, when you were living in Singapore and Germany, did their cuisines kind of inspire you in any way as well, like in your cooking and how you cook now? Or
yeah, actually, I didn't really cook much when I was in Singapore, because in Singapore it's like food courts are everywhere, and most of the people who eat at food courts. And as a very busy student, I also eat at food courts, and I only cook a lot more intensively when I was in Germany. And in the process of learning more about cooking, I also learned, to cook dishes from Singapore or from Germany that I love, like the bak kut teh, the rib soup in Singapore, and the laksa. All these dishes that I love. I also learned to cook through the YouTube videos, So, and it's those inspiring YouTuber cooks on YouTube, the cooks on YouTube that introduce their cuisine to me as a student. They inspire me to start my channel to introduce Vietnamese cuisine. Yeah.
I see.
And for now, when I'm back here in Vietnam, then I also love to recreate all those dishes from Singapore or from Thailand or from whatever countries that I've been to recreate the flavors and the dishes that I love. Yeah.
Amazing. Do you also have a favorite dish from your book?
My favorite
From
dish from the book?
From this book, sorry. Do you have a favorite dish from this book?
Wow. It's so
Sorry.
difficult to choose. Yeah. Yeah, but the five color salad is also something that I would recommend if you are new to Vietnamese cooking. And because it's easy to make with simple ingredients, and everybody loves salad, right? So it's a good introduction to Vietnamese cooking. Other than that, you can also try the lemongrass chili tofu as the entry, and then many other dishes was like more advanced. When you're more into Vietnamese vegan cooking, then you can start with the other dishes as well. Yeah.
Did you learn Did you learn to cook at home before you traveled, or did you learn when you were in Germany?
Oh, so my mom was the one who taught me all the dishes, the basic home cooked dishes, and then I built on that foundation over the years when I was in Germany and started to cook more complicated dishes, because in Vietnam the food is like the street food is everywhere and it's very cheap, right? So for dishes like pho would take like 10 hours to cook. We normally will eat out. We don't cook at home that much for those complicated dishes. But then when I moved to Germany, then I started trying to learn how to make those dishes as well. So now, like, I cook over 1,000 dishes, so I know the cuisine inside out. But having said that, I still haven't covered, I think, like 10% of Vietnamese dishes. There's a thousand more dishes. It's so many varieties, even for a single dish. So it's a topic that I don't know. Maybe will take my whole life to to discover.
We've still got a lot more to learn from you over the years. You can,
Yeah.
keep on teaching.
I have a
Fantastic.
question. Would you ever consider, if the opportunity arose, opening a restaurant?
Oh, if I consider opening a restaurant, yes.
Yeah.
I've received these questions like so often. Yeah, but my answer to that is, I mean, there's a lot of people opening restaurants already, and they also doing a good job. And the very few people is doing what I'm doing, which is to introduce the cuisine in a more approachable for the home cooks. Like writing Vietnamese cookbook, there's not many Vietnamese cookbook author as well. And so I think what I do, I really enjoy, first of all, what I do. And I think it's also influenced a lot of people too. So we're having a restaurant, maybe I can serve to like 100 guests or 1,000 guests a day maximum. But then with my videos on my channel, I can help more people and influence, bring Vietnamese cuisine to even more wider audience. And so that's why I still choose to do what I do instead of open a restaurant. Anyway,
No, sure. I mean,
yeah, my younger sister is having a restaurant, so she's doing
right.
that on
Okay.
behalf of me.
Oh, so the cooking runs through the family then?
Yeah. I don't know how, but we all we have master degree in marketing, but somehow, I mean, from the games that we play when we was really young, or somehow my mom just inspired, and then we both of us now has a really strong interest in culinaries and stuff like that, and we are doing like working in food, but in different aspect. Yeah.
When you're at home with your parents, who does the cooking? Is it still your mum, or do you jump into the kitchen and do it?
That's a very good question. Yeah, my friends' moms always say, you know, you're so lucky, and then you have all the girls cook for you and like this. But then when we are home, the secret is that she's also we just love eating what she cook for us. Used to cook for us, so it's she also is still cooking for us.
Yeah.
Like when we have a family gathering. My mom, I will bring certain dishes, and my sister too, and then she also cook something. So we have all like share meals, yeah, something
Lovely.
like that. Yeah.
Thank you, Helen. It looks absolutely delicious. Thank you very much for doing it.
Lovely questions. Thank you everyone for joining me today in the live stream, and everyone at Portal too for your support in making my vegan book come true. And thank you everyone watching live on Facebook and YouTube as well for joining me today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Helen, and enjoy eating that salad.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye, Helen. Bye.